In the last video, I was just north of Omaha in Iowa, or Missouri Valley, Iowa, when I met up with Dylan and we decided to travel together. We went down to St. Joseph and then decided instead of going to Kansas City, we're going to go to Concordia to pick up a car that was sitting at my mom's house. So at the end of the last video, we came and did that. I didn't film anything at my mom's house, just for her privacy and everything like that. But it was a little surreal being back in Concordia. It's where I grew up. It's where I have a lot of memories there. Most of them not good ones, to be honest with you, but that's where I'm from. So in the beginning of this video, we had just taken that car and gone south to Salina, and then we were heading out west towards Colorado.
Hey, Swarmy.
Can't multitask.
Just watch the road and not the video.
This is Kansas. This is what everybody thinks Kansas is like. And this part of it is.
Don't keep that whole thing out too long.
No, I'm just gonna... It's in the shade.
Yeah. I don't know. I was playing it in a different key. I played an E in the F. I'm playing an F to a G. A G minor. To say what's impossible will they forget. This world keeps spinning and with each new day I can see a change in everything. And somewhere the same. Whoops.
So one of the things that Dylan knew about traveling in a car that I didn't was about a thing called jugging. Jugging is where you grab a gas jug and you walk around to different pumps to people filling their gas and you ask if they could just put a little bit in. It's not something that I've ever done before, but apparently it's pretty common amongst travelers who ride in cars. And Dylan was adamant that we do not pay for gas with cash. We only jug for it. So I let him do most of the jugging, but he was pretty good at it. And with that car being as fuel efficient as it was, we really didn't have to do that much. But it was a little bit of a culture shock moment when he first grabbed the jug and got out of the car and started going around to people, and I was like, how are they going to react? What's it going to be like? I was expecting a lot of no's, but it turned out, I mean, maybe it's just Dylan's natural charm or something like that, but it turns out people were pretty generous with it. They're like, oh, you need a little bit of gas? Sure, here you go. Which is awesome, and glad that people are still generous enough for things like that. So we did a lot of driving, just going west on I-70. There's a couple of interesting things here and there. Mostly the interesting thing was how uninteresting it was. There's a lot of flat land between there and Colorado. So as we were approaching Colorado, Dylan was talking about Red Rocks, which he had been to fairly recently, I guess, and he goes to fairly often. And I had never really been to Red Rocks. I wanted to go a couple times, but it never ended up happening. So he starts looking up who's playing at Red Rocks, and it turns out Tyler Childers was playing, like right as we were supposed to get there. And Tyler Childers is like I guess kind of a country artist, you'd say, maybe new country, or like, you know, I don't know, people are coming up with different labels for things these days, but it's country. And Dylan was playing a couple of his songs, like since I've met him, really. And so Dylan was really excited, and I was excited because I knew a couple of the songs and it seemed like a good show. So we decided that's where we were going to go.
To get a view of the show, I watched some chick get escorted down by the Park Service last time I was here.
Great view of Denver right there.
Right, let's go see if we can get it.
Red Rocks Amphitheater. I would be a little more excited if I hadn't driven like 6 hours today and also up this windy, stressful road. But that's fine. Alright, well, we didn't get in last night. We didn't buy tickets. We were waiting for somebody to possibly give us some tickets, but that didn't happen. We're going to try again tonight, possibly, but the problem is the car, you know, it's an old car. It's got 140,000 miles on it, and it just popped the transmission, or something popped. Actually, I see something loose down there. I don't know, so we're gonna have to look at that today. Yesterday I got on the highway, and as soon as I tried to shift into third gear, gear slipped. So we're gonna be diagnosing that problem today, and if we can get back up to Red Rocks, because it's up a pretty steep slope, then we're gonna go again tonight. But if not, then I don't know, we might just have to limp our way to Phoenix. The car did in fact seem to be working again for the time being, so the next day we went back up to Red Rocks and actually took the full tour.
Howdy, yeah.
Hey.
Look at it.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of stairs. Nice. Well, the car seems to be working, so I guess we just got to watch out for that transmission issue in the future. But we're back here at Red Rocks, and we're going to try and make some money selling some beer, and see if we can make enough money to change out the transmission fluid, and then, I don't know, I guess just enjoy the night, and we'll try and move on either tonight or tomorrow. There's another show tomorrow night that we're thinking about maybe going to, if we don't sell all of the beer that we bought. So, well, see what happens. Well, the night actually went really well at Red Rocks. Basically all I did was take a big tote bag full of ice cold beers and walk it up and down the line, and everybody swarmed me. At a couple points it was a little overwhelming, but at the end of the day we sold a lot of beer and ended up with a lot of change in our pockets. I don't suppose I ever explained what's actually going on with the car right now. Basically, we took it in to get the transmission fluid changed. We had a real good night at Red Rocks. We had a lot of money, and took it in to get the transmission fluid changed, and then it turns out this car has a non-serviceable transmission. So we said, all right, well, what do we do about that then? I don't know if the transmission even needs to be changed, really. It's definitely got some issues. Dylan's pretty convinced that it's the clutch. I think it might be something to do with the engine. It's definitely not producing enough power. It really struggles going up hills and even starting from a dead stop, which I don't think it was doing when we started. So I think that's gotten worse. But ultimately we decided to just save all our money, not do anything to the car at the moment, and just keep going down the road. Maybe it'll blow up, maybe it won't. But since then, we've gotten ourselves down to Trinidad, Colorado. Pretty nice mesas up there. It's, I guess, a little border town with New Mexico. And slept over here at this
rest stop last night, which I was a little paranoid about, but it seems like it's turned out okay. Dylan is somewhere, probably over there. We split off, but yeah, so I guess we're just gonna try and make it to Phoenix with this little car, and I mean, it's doing okay. We'll see. Well, it finally happened. The clutch gave out after I realized that I had 5 gears the whole time. I've been driving with the assumption that I only had 4 gears. For some reason, I just didn't even think about it. And then I decided to check, and I did in fact have a 5th gear, and I was so excited about it. And then I tried to switch back to 4th gear because we'd slowed down, and found that my clutch was suddenly not engaging. And after a little bit of panicking, ended up at the side of the road, and now looks like it's going to cost more than it's worth to replace, so we're going to get it towed to scrapyard. Maybe I can get $100 out of it. Then we're back on foot. And I mean, you know, we got pretty close. We're pretty much right outside of Santa Fe. So there's that.
So with the car not working and it costing too much to fix and not wanting to risk trying to fix it ourselves, and plus it still costs a lot if you want to fix it yourself, we decided to just junk it and get out of there. I ended up getting $300 for the car, which is a lot. It's more than I was expecting, to be honest. Probably because it wasn't total junk, but it had working parts in it and stuff, so that's probably why they gave me a little more. But so the place where we junked it was in Santa Fe. So that's where we started, and then there's a rail runner, which is just a rail line, passenger rail line that goes between Santa Fe and Albuquerque, and then there's another section of that line that goes down south, which is on a different timetable, and that becomes important later. Because what happened is we went down to Albuquerque.
Yeah, nicest train ride you've had in a while.
The train wasn't running further south until like an hour later, so we took some time, saw Albuquerque a little bit, and then we came back to the station and went south. We went all the way south on the rail runner line to a little town called Belen, which is apparently also a really big crew change spot for trains. There was a lot of train graffiti around there too, which I didn't get any pictures of, but there was. Unfortunately, as good as it might be for trains, it was not very good for hitchhiking. So we sat there at this little pilot station for far too long, just trying to get rides out. And nothing was really happening. So we decided to get an Amtrak out of Albuquerque over to Winslow, Arizona. It wasn't too much, and we had just made the money from selling the car, plus the money from selling beer at Red Rocks. So we were riding pretty high, and we went like, okay, Amtrak, fine. Let's just get out of Albuquerque, get out of New Mexico. And so the problem was, the Amtrak train that we got was supposed to leave like 10 minutes before the earliest train got to downtown Albuquerque from Belen. So the Amtrak schedules and the rail runner schedules just weren't really lining up for us, and we ended up getting a bus. There's a free shuttle bus, I guess, that runs between the rail runner stations for situations like this. So that's what we ended up doing, but it was a little fly by the seat of your pants. Didn't know if we were going to make it in time. Eventually we did, and we were on our way to Winslow, Arizona. You know that song Take It Easy by the Eagles? It has a line about standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. Everything in Winslow was based either around that song or Route 66. That was about all there was in the town. Those two tourist traps. But either way, we ended up getting out of there pretty quickly. We just went up to the north side of town and cut a ride out, and got to see the scenery all the way going up into Flagstaff. I've been running down the road trying to loosen
Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Lighten up while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand. Take it easy. I was standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. Such a fine sight to see. A woman, my lord, in the flatbed Ford slowing down to take a look at me. Time on, baby, don't say maybe. I need to know if your sweet love's gonna save me. 'Cause we may lose and we may win, and we may never be here again. So I'm up, I'm dropping in. Take it easy. It's interesting how fast it goes from desert to mountains right around here.
Fire watch tower up on top of that mountain.
Oh yeah? Cool. One interesting thing about Flagstaff that Dylan was telling me about is that there's an observatory nearby. So there's a light ordinance. It says you can't produce light over a certain brightness or something like that. So all of these street lights are this weird orange color. I mean, it's still pretty bright, but like, you know, I'm sure from the observatory it's much better. I finally started editing this next video, so realized how little I've actually been filming the last couple weeks. But basically we've been here in Flagstaff for like 3 days, something like that. It's a pretty cool town. It's like, I don't know, just all these, you know, pine trees and stuff. If you plopped me down in the middle of this place and didn't tell me where I was, I wouldn't have guessed Arizona, that's for sure. I think basically right now, I've been applying to a couple trucking schools and just looking around to see what I have to do. And I think I'm either going to stay here in Flagstaff. We're probably going to stay here in Flagstaff. I think basically I'm going to stay here in Flagstaff until I get, like, you know, a date for that. Because Flagstaff's, you know, it's pretty chill and stuff. So probably going to be staying here for a little bit and just applying for things and doing stuff and just trying to survive. Doing good on money. Thanks in part to the amount of money we made at Red Rocks, thanks in part to the amount of money I got for my car, which was about $300, and thanks in part to some very generous donations, which you will see at the end of this video. Yeah, everything's going pretty good right now, and also thinking about, like, you know, I could get some day labor jobs here, whatnot, if I need the money. I canceled my Patreon after the last payout in October, so that's done. Honestly, I'll probably, like, start blocking donations to my PayPal and stuff too. Just don't need it anymore. I think I'm pretty much there. I've had a few people tell me that I should keep making videos while I'm doing the trucking thing. I'll see what happens, you know, we'll see what happens. I've got some ideas for stuff I'd like to do. I don't think I'm going to make videos about trucking though. It just doesn't seem like that interesting to me. But we'll see. If there's anything, if something does happen that seems interesting, then I'll film it. But yeah, don't know how much more there will be to say, but for now, I guess that's where I'm at. All right, so there's a open house at this Phoenix Trucking School Flagstaff office or whatever, which is up on the north side of town. So I've been staying on the south side of town, so I'm going to walk up there and just kind of take in the sights as I go. Should be a good opportunity to get to see a little more Flagstaff, a little more of the nature side. It's got a system of trails that goes through the town, which is nice. I'll be on those most of the time. So this is part of the Northern Arizona University, which is a huge university. It takes up most of the south side of Flagstaff. It's got a very large campus, and I don't know. Seems like a good school, I guess. I don't really know how to judge that, but seems like it would be a nice place to go to school, you know, up here in Flagstaff. Alright, the trail ends over here, and I'm just walking on the road again. Been noticing this landscaping rock around everywhere. I don't know if they get it from around here, but it almost looks like petrified wood, some of it. It's got that grain to it. Kind of good piece. I don't know, it's got a grain to it. I don't know if it is petrified wood, but it's interesting. I got, you know, I've been looking at some rocks again lately. It's a good pastime when you're in the Southwest. Yeah, this is not the sort of natural beauty I was looking for, but you know, this part of nature too looks pretty fresh. It smells pretty bad. Got a little tip from Dylan that this might be kind of the place to camp. It's behind a hotel, kind of on the east side of Flagstaff. There's a lot of woods out here, but there's also a lot of trails. I kind of wonder. And I think you could probably sleep. You just have to go like way out in the forest over there somewhere. I can't spend too long looking at this right now because that open house I'm going to is supposed to start pretty soon. I just wanted to scope the place out first. Yeah. It's America First Hotel over here. Yeah, I think you could do it. You just have to go way back in the woods over here. Looks like maybe the slope of the ground here might kind of help, but also just getting in late and waking up early is going to help the most. But yeah, I think I see kind of where I have to go here. So now walk all the way back up. Still got another like mile and a half to go, so better do that. And there's also this little truck stop over here, which is right next to it, which might be a little safer, come to think of it. You know, hotels might not, I don't know, like the chance of getting caught is about the same, but the chance of getting caught by somebody who gives a shit is a little bit higher if you're near a hotel. Whereas truck stops, they don't care at all. The most likely thing is you're going to get caught by a trucker taking his dog for a walk in the woods. Yeah, I think as long as you can get out here, which looks like you can get pretty far out here too, you should be fine. Somewhere out there. Alright, well, yeah, that's my other option. Just woke up in the woods to see this little guy sitting right next to me. Not sure if it's a spider or a really big tick. Either way, it just does not look very friendly, does it? Just gotta hope that there's none of those like in my clothes or something. So yeah, I just slept under this tree last night. Had a nice convenient looking little hollow in it. It's not really a hollow, but you know what I mean. And this place here, if you can see way over there, is a disc golf course. As I was walking around the lake trying to find a place to sleep, I kept just running into those disc golf holes. Luckily, I don't think anybody's playing disc golf right now. It's really cold this morning. I think it got down to like 30 last night. So, yeah, I don't think we want to be in Flagstaff for too much longer here. It's only going to get colder. But, it's a nice little, you know, walk in the woods. This little, I don't know. Ooh. Nice. Some sort of big water bird. Long-necked water bird. Yeah, there's another, it's like the starting point for a disc golf hole. So, you know, were I to be in this area again, I probably would try and find somewhere else to sleep, to be honest, but, you know, for one night, it did okay. There's also a big, see, just keep running into them. There's a big road running over this way. But yeah, it seems like nobody could really see me from where I was at. There's another hole. Good thing people don't usually play disc golf at 8 a.m. in like 35-degree weather. It's a good bird. There's a lot of big birds up here, I've noticed. Like the crows are really huge. They're pretty huge over in Winslow too. But I don't know what it is. If it has to do with the desert, maybe it's because they're scavenger birds and something, or maybe it's just because it's cold up here and they need that body mass to survive. I don't know. I also don't know if I'm going to be able to get out this way, because I don't know if these rocks are passable. They probably are. Yeah, go back down and meet up with Dylan again, presumably. And we need to make some plans to get south. Hopefully I can pass through Sedona on the way. I'm sure that we can. I'm sure it can be arranged. Just because, you know, I've always heard a lot about Sedona. A couple of family members, I believe, have gone on little vacations down there. I know it's pretty, like, touristy and stuff, which is not really my vibe, but I want to at least see it. So I know there's some good cliffs and stuff around there. You know, whenever I'm hanging out with Dylan, I gotta stop and look at some cool rocks. So here's a little montage of those. We spent about a month from the time that we met up in Omaha to getting all the way down to Phoenix, traveling together with Dylan, and all in all it was a very good experience. Got to see some parts of the country I haven't seen yet, and going into Sedona here, it was just a cool time. You know, Sedona is one of the most naturally beautiful areas I've ever seen, even though the town itself is pretty touristy. But, you know, Arizona's got a lot to offer that I didn't realize up to that point. You know, it's a ton of natural beauty, more diversity than you would think. From Flagstaff to Sedona, all the way down to Phoenix and all the areas by the border. And in the desert out there. Great state.
Go find a court's termination, roughly the size of mine, and see what they want for it.
Oh yeah. I'm sure I got something like that around here. Look at the absolute sizes on this shit here. $10,000 for this piece. I mean, I'm not saying it's not worth it, but that's a lot. A lot of money. And then these things, like, what even is this? $40,000 for this big piece of something. I mean, you know, if you're gonna go look at rocks in the store and stuff, Sedona's probably the place. There's a lot of stuff in here.
Alright, so here's how things have changed since the end of this video. Basically, when I got to Arizona, I mean, I'd been looking at, like, things before, but I started really, like, getting into the weeds of what I actually need to get this driver's license. And after a few phone calls and, like, here and there's, the subject came up that getting your commercial learner's permit has to happen in the same state where your registration is. Or not your registration, your driver's license. I barely understand any of this crap. I hate paperwork. I hate dealing with the government. I hate all that shit. So I'm really struggling to understand stuff. But after going back and forth with a few people, I realized that I just can't do it in Arizona. If I wanted to, I could get my driver's license changed over to Arizona, but then I need pieces of mail from in-state, which means I have to get mail sent somewhere, which means either getting it sent to where Dylan's mom and us were staying, Dylan's mom's house, or getting it sent to maybe my cousins who live in the area. But, like, either way, it's like a couple weeks to get the mail, a couple weeks to get the thing, another month here, another month there, applying for different shit. It's just basically not nearly as easy as it seems. So I decided I don't want to do that, at least not right now. And I still think trucking is a good choice for me, and I still want to work towards that. But I think what has to happen basically is that I have to get my CDL in Kansas. And right now is the wrong time of year to be in Kansas, especially if I don't have somewhere to stay that's, like, close to a driving school or whatever. And also, I just don't really want to be back there right now. So I just decided to keep traveling for now. I guess extend my estimate to, like, I don't know, March, April, May. I don't really know. Whenever it starts warming up in Kansas, that's when I'll start going back. There's definitely some stuff I can do in the meantime, but I won't bore you all with that. Just have to, like, apply for grants and shit like that. But I probably don't even need to do that until a couple weeks out from when I want to be there. But yeah, not to get too in the weeds, because I don't really understand what's going on in the weeds there. So that'll come when it comes. And for now, it's just, if you want to make God laugh, try and tell him your plans. And that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Just the fewer concrete plans I have for the future, the better. I'm just going to vibe. I'm going to take it easy and see what I can see for now. And then I'll come back and try the trucker thing again in Kansas when the weather gets a little better. That's where I'm at right now. So look forward to the next video. Spoiler alert, I just got back from somewhere very cool in Southern California. So leave your guesses in the comments as to what that is, and you'll find out whenever I get around to editing that footage. Yeah, thank you for watching, and hope you'll be with me for another 6 months of this or something.
Alright, so for the donations, I've got $20 from Michael, and he said, "Ross, you're a great story person. We like hearing about your location. Praying God will give you perfection and wisdom." Perfection's an interesting thing to wish for, but I'll take it. Thank you very much. And then I got $300 from Ernest. Ernest has pretty much been single-handedly funding my existence, and I thank you so much for that. I don't really know what to say. It's a lot of money, and I struggle with thank yous, because I feel like I couldn't possibly say enough, you know. So I guess just thank you, Ernest. A very sincere thank you. Yeah, and then I got another 300 from Ernest, further making my problem worse of not knowing quite what to say. I mean, Ernest, you're not leaving any comments with these, but if you have anything in particular that you want to see, like anywhere you want to see me go or do or anything like that, let me know. So far you've donated $1,200 total, which is like in the space of 2 months as well, which is like more money than I think I would have ever been able to donate to anything, you know, other than rent maybe. So yeah, incredible thank you for that, and let me know if there's anything you particularly want to see. Alright, I got a $10 donation from Ken. Thank you, Ken. No comment on that one. And then I got another $6 donation from Andrew. Thank you very much, Andrew. And I think that's pretty much all of the donations. Yeah, you know, I'm doing alright right now. I've got tools in the toolbox to get more money, and there's also been, you know, some very, very generous people, even though I haven't been uploading videos, so sorry about that. I've got like, I don't know, 3 or 4 new ones that I could probably upload. I just haven't edited them yet. I was sitting on this last one for a long time because it was so much editing, and I think I will be simplifying my editing process from here on. So going back to, I think there was a moment in time where I was really locked in, kind of the first time I was coming through California. I feel like I was getting a video out like every week. I want to try and get back to that, but it's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna try.